Gentlemen, one thing you have to understand is commitment is earned. It's not a gift. I cringe when I see men get into relationships too quickly, as in 3 to 6 months. You don't even know the person. And being in the honeymoon phase isn't helping that. The honeymoon phase is a point in a relationship when the person you're dating seems, from your perspective, to have no flaws. Trust me when I say this, everyone will feel this new relationship energy. But it's important to operate with objectivity and vet the person you're dating. I'm not telling you to be skeptical and distrusting, but allow yourself some breathing room before making decisions to cohabitate or being in a relationship. Do not make a woman your girlfriend until 9 months to a year. The reason why you wait this long is to see consistency in her behavior and make sure she's someone you want to invest in. Now, I don't recommend you lie to women and string her along with no intention of making her your girlfriend. Keep your intentions honest and date her accordingly. Do not let a woman pressure you into giving her commitment early. Keep the communication honest and straightforward. Teach her how to treat you. If you have an issue with her behavior, address it promptly. If the behavior doesn't change, leave the relationship. Disrespect tends to progress in relationship. It may go from her undermining your dreams to her cheating on you. This may not happen overnight necessarily, but it will progress. Encourage her to speak up if she has an issue. Women tend to hide dissatisfaction in relationship, and this grows into resentment. So don't be afraid to hold her to the same standard. Encourage healthy communication in the beginning, and keep your cool. Keep your cool when she's telling you stuff. So like if your girlfriend tells you like what you did was wrong, and it becomes an argument, try to keep your cool because you want to encourage a relationship in which she can come forward with issues and they can be negotiated and solved. And I'm not saying that like if she's like, oh, get rid of your motorcycle because I don't like it, and you don't want to get rid of your motorcycle, and her argument just isn't strong enough to the negotiation, you decide, hey, I'm not getting rid of my motorcycle. It's something I like to do. Now what I can do is I can wear a helmet so I can be safer, but I'm going to continue to ride my motorcycle because that's something I enjoy doing. It's not like you give up everything to please her, or she's giving up everything to please you. You guys find a middle ground with most things. That's what I mean by that. Now, I got this idea from the Tactical Guide to Men, and I mentioned this in a previous video, but there's this guy called Dr. Sean T. Smith, Tactical Guide to Women, excuse me. He wrote this book called The Tactical Guide to Women, and it's not like a pickup artist type of book or anything like that. It's a book teaching men how to operate in a relationship, because in his clinical work, he's noticed that men have issues vetting women in relationship. And I've noticed this too. I've met many dudes in ridiculous situations with women. It can be whether their wife is calling them out their name in public, or smacking them or something like that, or just like undermining their dreams and stuff like this. And this same type of thing does definitely happen to women. But I think the difference between men and women in regards to this is women tend to have a support network when it comes to stuff like that. And men don't. I think that's one thing men should definitely work on, is like developing that support network. So, be close to your friends and family, and don't let, people isolate you when you start dating people. So like, if your girlfriend's like, oh, like after 2 months, oh, I don't like your friends. It's like, so what? You know what I mean? Don't immediately, I guess, undermine it. Investigate the situation. And if you find that she has no reason to not like your friends, it's like, you know what I mean? She could be somebody potentially isolating you, but you wouldn't know that because men don't study relationships, because it's not something a lot of men are interested in. They're more interested in like things and ideas, as opposed to like people. But then they'll seek out someone like me when there's a problem, there's an issue in their relationship, or they're having problems, attracting women or keeping women. They'll come seek out me when there's a problem, as opposed to, just being curious about the information. So men are behind in relationships and like social interactions. I think when it comes to socializing, I think women are the far superior as far as communication and socializing goes. Women are very keen to body language and stuff like that, and everything like that. So My aim is to give men this same information and, to arm you effectively to navigate in relationships. Wait 9 to 12 months. Trust me. You want to vet this person completely, and you want to know whether this person is a good person to integrate in your life. And ultimately, one thing you're going to look for is, how do they handle conflict? It's like, does this woman flip out and start smashing stuff when she's mad? Or does she, like, everybody has off ways of handling conflict, but is it something you feel you can manage? Maybe check out her home life and stuff like that. Maybe check out her family. Does she know her father? Does she respect men and stuff like that? It's like, these are things you want to look for. Is she honest? Because 9 to 12 months will let you know whether a person's honest or not. If she lies constantly, if she's a pathological liar, you don't want to be in a relationship with that, like something like that. And it's not. And one thing men try to do is they try to fix stuff. You cannot fix this, and you should not fix this. You look, people can be adjusted. I'm not saying that like everything's like a deal breaker. If they display like certain things you can't fix, like if they're a pathological liar or a narcissist, that's something you cannot fix, and you need to recognize something like that and just like, oh, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm not being in that type of a relationship. But 9 months to a year will give you the chance to know if she's kind of like funny. Like, all right, so I'll give you an example. If you're like dating a girl and she's still like, I don't know, hangs out with her ex, and like when you talk to her, she doesn't tell you much information about her ex or something like that. Like she doesn't have transparency in her interactions, and that to me is a red flag. That if she's not transparent, if things happen in a relationship, you won't be able to fix them. So she's definitely not girlfriend material, and you'll know that from jump. If she's like squirmish and hiding information from you and stuff like that, and it's not like, and you've been with her for 9 to 12 months. You're not like, and this is assuming that you're not like pressuring her to reveal that information. But if you're like, you're just being cool, you're laid back and stuff, you guys are hanging out and stuff like that, and she's still lacking that transparency, it's like, this is not someone who's girlfriend material, because she's like hiding stuff. And if things happen in the future, instead of communicating them, she's just gonna hide things. That's not a girlfriend, and you wouldn't be able to see this in like 2 months, because you'll be in la la land, because she's like beautiful, and she's here, and she's lovely, and she's awesome, and blah 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 blah. 9 to 12 months, those dopamine levels will start to come down, and you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, she's human. You know what I mean? And then you'll start to notice those things. I'm not saying like you're like hiring private investigators and stuff like that. You don't need to, but you take a mental note of it, and you're like, and you decide, like maybe like the 10th month, you're like, you know what, Stacy, I'm not interested. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not interested in being exclusive. And you don't necessarily have to tell her the reason why. You can just say, I'm not interested in becoming exclusive. If you still are interested in being friends with benefits, I'll be open to that. But as far as exclusivity, I'm not interested in that. And you boom, you vetted her, and you decided that you didn't want to be with her. And if she asks why, if up to you whether you want to be honest or not. But in that particular situation where a woman had lacked transparency with me, well, if I liked her enough, I'll probably tell her why, honestly. If I liked her enough, I'll probably tell her why. I was like, I just feel as though, as far as a relationship goes, you don't have the transparency I'm looking for, so I can't be in a relationship with you. And I'm not, I like transparency in my relationships. So I'm gonna repeat this: do not lie and string women along, and just, if you like her and you intend on making her your girlfriend in the future, date her accordingly, date her, hang out, sleep over, all that stuff. But don't move her in and stuff like that. Maybe like as you're dating, you might see her once a week, and like as your girlfriend, I'm gonna just use myself as an example. Before my girl was my girl, I only saw her once a week when we were dating. About once a week when we were dating. on average. And that was like, that to me is, I'm dating you, you know. And once I see you more than once a week, that's like girlfriend and boyfriend type of stuff. Once we go and hang out and we're not like, hooking up or anything like that, that's girlfriend and boyfriend type of stuff. We might get together, hang out, go on a date, maybe drink together or something like that. But it wasn't like to the point where we were like hanging out constantly 3-4 times a week and stuff like that, texting all the time. But, you know, 9 to 12 months, bet the woman successfully. In videos in the future, I'm going to give you tips or specific things to look for when you're dating women. But trust me, 9 to 12 months. 9 to 12 months. Hey, you can do whatever you want, but this is what I recommend for, so you're not like, things are not going over your head. But if you consider the information in this video helpful, slide that like button, give me a sub. It's going to help the channel grow, and there's always more to come. Have a great day.